Hello guys, today JT is actually going to be telling the story of when we got lost in the backwoods. I'm just going to be playing Hypixel Bedwars while he tells the story. JT?
Alright, so, first of all, for background, don't pay attention to that. That was a speaker falling. But the backwoods is the name that we nicknamed the woods that we got lost in. So yeah, we got lost in the woods. So we were bored one day. It was like a Saturday or something, and we were all bored. And then my friend, I think, texted me and asked, "Hey, do you want to go to the park and just hang out?" And I was like, "Yeah, totally," because it was such a dull day. So we decided, yeah, we'll go to the park. So we went to the park with two friends. And then we were talking for a little bit, just sitting on the benches that we found by the park. And then eventually one of my friends just asked, "Hey, you want to go on a trail? Just walk on a trail? It's going to be more fun than just sitting here." And we were like, "Yeah, totally." And we decided it would be a quick walk, maybe hour and a half or less. So we left our water bottles. We were like, it's going to be a pain to carry this around the whole time. So we left our water bottles and we went on the trail. We saw a trail that said lake loop. So what we assumed when we saw this is it was going to take us in a loop around the lake. And we were like, yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good exercise. Good hour and a half or less. So we went on that trail that said lake loop. We started walking. We were just talking, having fun, just admiring like some fun little swamplands that we compared to Florida swamps and stuff like that, stupid stuff like that. And then we found a fork in the trail at one point. I want to say it was about a little bit less than half an hour in, maybe 20 minutes. And the fork was either you could go to a neighborhood entrance, so basically the trail wound up leading into a neighborhood, which is kind of weird, or you could go on a winding path that led into the woods. You couldn't see past the trees, so you didn't know exactly where you were going, but it didn't look that dangerous at all. So we decided, you know what, we're going to check out the neighborhood entrance. So we went to the neighborhood. We kind of just walked around the neighborhood, which must have been weird for other people. Like, why are these kids exiting the woods walking through the neighborhood? We were like, yeah, that's probably not the best thing to do. So we went to the left because we knew it wasn't going to get us anywhere. So we found our way back to the fork, and we went down the winding path that went into the forest. And what happened after that is we were getting tired because it had been, I think, about, I want to say 45 minutes by that point. We're getting kind of tired, but we found another neighborhood entrance later. But we were like, we're just going to ignore this because we know that this isn't going to be useful. So we eventually just kept walking for just a little bit, maybe 5 minutes more. We're like, okay, we got to find our way back now because it had been 45, 50, maybe an hour. And of course, we got to get back at a certain time. So we walked past the neighborhood entrance. We decided we got to go back. And since we were on what I said earlier, the lake loop, which we thought was a circle around the lake, which would take us back to where we started, we just kept following the signs that said lake loop and kept pointing us in a certain direction, whether it be left or right, whatever turn, whatever the sign said, we will follow it. And eventually we realized that that was not a lake loop. We were not making a circle around the lake, and we were going a completely different direction, and we were lost. So we just kept walking and walking, and we're in the woods, and we have no water. Like, we left our water with us. So we're about an hour and 10 minutes maybe in, and we found a trail that crossed the road. Like, it opened up, you saw the road that would lead into the park, I think, and then it just kept going to the forest on the other side of the road. We were like, okay, we must be getting close. There's a road here. So we cross it and we go down that trail. And it just leads us like by the road, and then we can't see it at some point. We lose vision of the road. And then we come back out and we see another road. We assume it's the same road, just a little farther down, or like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then we decide, and then there was no other trail on the other side of the road, so we had to actually walk down the road now. So we walked down the road, and eventually we got a little bit tired, so we found there's this artificial rock, I think. I don't know what it's for. We just sat there around the rock. We took a break. And then we looked up, and we realized we had been walking the wrong direction because we had found the park entrance. That was not where the park parking lot was. And the park parking lot was a long ways away from the entrance. And we walked back. We decided to walk backwards. Yeah, I know. That's probably going to be a lot of fun. And then, not only that, we recognized the trail that we had seen 20 minutes earlier that crossed the road and went into the other side of the road. And we were like, oh, okay, we just wasted our time. And we just went in a circle. And it got us no closer to where we were supposed to be going. So we kept walking past that to the way that we thought was the parking lot. And eventually we just saw a few turns and we ignored them because we didn't think they were the right way. And then we just kept going. Eventually, we made a turn, and we were like, okay, I think this is the right way. We were getting tired. One of my friends got tired, so one of my other friends picked him up, and then just picked them up and just started running with them on their back. And we all just started running. We're like, we're gonna run for as fast as we can because we got to get back at a certain time because we should not be out here this long. And our parents don't really know that we're lost. They think we're like, oh, we'll be back soon. We kept telling them we'll be back soon. Eventually, we kind of had to tell them, we're a little bit lost at the moment. And they didn't freak out because it was a small park. They would find us easily. But we really want to be able to walk back because I was like, oh, they're never going to trust us to go out and do this on our own again. But they're cool. They would totally be cool with us going out in the woods again. So what we did was we just walked and we found a trail that went off the road eventually. We were like, okay, this must be the way to go. So we went on that. And we were like, okay, this looks like the way to the parking lot that we parked our cars at. And it took us to a parking lot eventually. But it wasn't the parking lot we parked our cars at. We recognized the parking lot because we've been to this park before. But it was not the parking lot we parked our cars at. And we did not know how far away it was. We knew it wasn't that far, but we did not know exactly how far. And we had to leave. So we kind of just called our parents. And we just waited at this parking lot for them to pick us up. And then they picked us up. And we just said goodbye and we went home. It was pretty crazy. It was really fun though because I think that was the first time we've ever walked that long in the forest and we got lost. And I gotta say, even though we technically got lost in the forest, that was probably one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. There was at one point where we were lost and we were walking around the lake loop thing that we thought was a lake loop, and these two people that were walking just for exercise were like, hey, do you know where the lake is? And then me and my friend were just like, we have no idea where the lake is. We have no idea. And they just kept walking, I think, the same way we were walking. And I was like, they shouldn't follow us. We have no clue where we're going. But that was really funny and really enjoyable. And as much as it might sound crazy, I would 100% get lost in the woods again because that day was that boring.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm about to get murdered by this guy.
PvP Penguin was with us on this journey. It was pretty funny. At one point, in when we were lost, PvP Penguin actually called someone else that on his contacts list on his phone, and was just like, "We're lost in the woods right now." And him and his friend were just chatting it up and talking. It was really funny. We were all making a huge joke out of it.
Wow, I'm bad. I lost all 3 games that I played.
Meanwhile, while I'm telling this story, PvP Penguin is failing in Minecraft.
I literally just got destroyed by like a 200 star just at my base. Just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna start flawlessing you every 5 seconds.
Alright, we need to see you win in something before we end this video.
Okay, win something? I can win in duels.
Alright, let's watch you win a few duels.
Alright, let's do this, boys.
But
Classic.
if you've ever gotten like lost in the woods or lost anywhere, honestly, put it in the comments. Tell us. Maybe you don't have to type out the whole thing because that would be kind of hard, but put it in the comments. Tell us maybe where you got lost, how long, because those stories are really fun.
I just destroyed this guy.
Oh wow!
Easy doing the gritty, yeah, doing the gritty.
Oh boy.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Goodbye.